My name's Aspen. I was 15 and pregnant. Now I'm a 16-year-old mother. Me and the father have been together since December of 2016. And other than Elizabeth, he's my whole world. So I started to feel not myself. Like my body felt very different. I wasn't eating as much, but still gaining like what I thought was a lot of weight. The father said that he noticed but didn't say anything because, like, I love you how you are. And then I would sleep restlessly thinking about all the reasons that I was gaining so much weight, but I wasn't eating. And I've always had problems with my body image and things like that, so it really did keep me up at night. I was like, why am I gaining this amount of weight? There's, like, it's summertime, I'm hot, I don't eat. I shouldn't have been gaining the amount of weight I did. So eventually I just chalked it up to the fact that it was softball season previously, and so I did go down a couple pant sizes with all that exercise that I was doing, and that it was over and I wasn't doing as much, so the weight came back. Then I started to get an uneasy feeling, and I literally thought to myself, there is no way that I am not pregnant. I would take my clothes off to take a shower, and I would look down, and I honestly hadn't gained as much weight as I thought I did. But I would look at my stomach, and I would be like, there's no way I'm not pregnant. So I talked to the father about it. I think I might be pregnant. He was at work a lot that summer, so I did take the test by myself. Went to your local Walgreens and picked up a test, and I kid you not, the 89-year-old woman at the counter looked at the test and was like, oh, are you sure? And I was really nervous. I didn't want to take it home and, like, send off a red flag if it really wasn't anything to worry about. So I was like, are you okay if I take this in the bathroom? And she was like, oh, sure, anything, yeah. So I remember going in the bathroom and shaking so badly that I couldn't get the cardboard box open. So I bought a box with 2 tests in it. So I opened the cardboard box, and each one was individually wrapped. I was just so stressed. I peed on the stick, and I waited, and it honestly felt like I was waiting for an hour. I counted to 60, I looked at the stick, and it was positive. So I opened another one. Peed on it, waited 5 years. It was positive. So it was such a real confirmation. I felt sick. I didn't know what to do. I was only 15. So I took a picture. I didn't want to take it home, and I sent it to the father. And I said, we really need to talk when you get home. We weren't going to tell anybody until we had, as the parents, decided what we wanted to do. Somehow my family found out. So me and the father had one day to talk about it, and we came to the conclusion that we were going to abort it. At this point, it wasn't a girl or boy. It didn't have brain, didn't have lungs. It wasn't alive in my head. I didn't see any other logical thing to do. I had no idea what to do other than end its life so it didn't end mine. The next day, our parents sat us down and said, is there anything you'd like to tell us? I said, no. They said, are you sure? And at that point, I didn't want to lie to them. I knew they knew, and I was just waiting for them to bring it up so I didn't have to. They said, we know you're pregnant, and we need to talk about what we're going to do. Before they could really say anything, obviously they said, we're here to support you no matter what your choice is. This is your lives that it's going to affect. Obviously it's going to affect our lives as well, but we want you to know that we are your support team no matter what you choose. and I really didn't want to hurt them. I didn't want to disappoint them more than I already had. All I could say was, I don't want it. My grandmother said, I will book you an appointment. And that was that. I went inside. I was done with the conversation. I was done with ever talking about it again. I went upstairs to my bedroom and I cried for a long time over the fact that I thought, how could I do this to something with the potential of being a life, with, I don't want this to ruin my life. I want to go out in the middle of summer and go for sleepovers with my friends and drive around and waste gas and listen to music and go to concerts and be able to drop whatever I'm doing and spend time with my friends. Or I wanted freedom to do whatever I wanted. I cried over the fact that I had made this mistake. Honestly, I cried and hated myself for even thinking that I could kill it. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that I already loved what was inside of me, and if I had to, I would do it alone. Whatever it took, I wanted to love what was inside of me. So I texted the father. I said, I think we should talk about it again. I don't know if this is what I want. And his immediate response was, me either. We decided that night that we were going to keep her. We were terrified of telling the rest of the family, friends, things like that. I was worried about school. I was worried about finances. I was worried about what if I'm a terrible mother. But I was so thankful that me and the father came to the agreement that we did want her. As soon as we chose that, it felt like my pregnancy went very fast for the first 4 months, with a few checkups, the first ultrasound, finding out that she was a beautiful baby girl, coming up with names, the nausea. Oh, it was terrible. I stayed home from school probably for altogether a month just because of the nausea. I couldn't get out of bed. I literally had a bucket laying where my pillow normally laid, and I couldn't move. It was so disgusting, and I just felt gross all the time. I was sweaty and just exhausted. And then came the cravings. I never had weird cravings. I had the strongest cravings for normal food. In the first month, they were just so intense. I would cry every time I had a craving that I couldn't get to immediately. And when I did get there, I would eat an outrageous amount and then feel disgusting. And I ended up wearing the father's clothes all the time. No. I graduated to sweatpants and t-shirts, or sweatpants and sweatshirts. It honestly flew by really fast. I had 2 baby showers, a friend's one and a family one, and I'm so grateful for everyone that came and everyone that supported us, gotten us things that we need, been there to talk to when I'm having crazy hormonal flashes. I did gain a lot of friends, which is the complete opposite of what I thought would happen. I thought the handful of friends that I had were going to leave. A lot of people were there for me. In month 6 of my pregnancy, my stomach really started to come out. That's when I started wearing a little bit of tighter shirts to show it off. Month 7 and 8 were probably my favorite. I wore tight little sweaters because it was winter. So I wore tight sweaters, and I always did my hair, and I took lots of pictures. And a lot of people were coming up to me and congratulating me, bringing me gifts, which I was so thankful for. Like, people that I didn't even talk to, people that I used to not be great with, they came to me and were like, congratulations, I got you this. How nice people were being to me was amazing. Now she's here, and she's beautiful, and she's healthy, and I have all my friends to thank for the support, the father to thank for always being there. It's just the most amazing feeling in the world, is being so close to someone that you created and that you are going to care for the next 18 years of their life. It just warms my heart that she already knew who I was. I'm really glad that I did decide to keep her, and she's blessed my life, she's blessed her father's lives, all of our family's lives, all of our friends' lives. She's brought a lot of us closer, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not upset that it happened. She really did change my life for the better, and I love that about her. That was my story of finding out that I was 15 and pregnant. Thank you for listening to my story.